Attorney Jose Baez told the jury they shouldn't base their decision on emotion. But is that possible at this point? Because there's been plenty of it in that courtroom. Let's ask Fox News legal analyst Bob Massi to weigh in.
Hi,
Bob,
Shannon.
great to see you today. It was another day
Thank
of
you.
Casey Anthony getting very emotional this morning, sobbing, putting her head down. How do you think that works for or against her with this jury?
You know, it's one of those things when you heard the prosecutor's story, you almost think about when a parent catches a teenager and lays out, what they did wrong, and the emotion comes out and they say, yes, I got caught. Assuming the facts are accurate, as he said, it was a brilliant, I thought, very articulate opening. I think insofar as her emotion, it's too much too late from that perspective because, again, it relives it. And I think the jury's way past that part of it of believing any emotion that she's experiencing. And I think it could cut both ways.
All right, let's talk about her attorney, Jose Baez's opening statement where he talked about things and hinted at things like sexual abuse by her father, Casey Anthony's father, and about an accidental drowning and all kinds of things. Has he delivered on those, or has he planted enough doubt to get a juror or two to have reasonable doubt about what actually happened?
Trials, Shannon, are about persuasion and perception. That's really what they're about, whether it be a civil case or a criminal case. I know a lot's been made about the fact of what he didn't prove, but I think he sort of pushed that aside on his closing today and just really hit home, basically diffusing that, saying, I didn't have to put on any evidence. I didn't have to put on one witness. It is not my burden. And to be honest with you, Shannon, that's really all he could say because he didn't deliver. A lot of people say, well, his credibility is in question. I mean, let me tell you something. I think the jury's way past that. This jury has sat there. They understand the case. You're going to see a fire and brimstone rebuttal from the district attorney after this closing from Mr. Baez.
Yeah, there's still some back and forth to go. I want to ask you specifically about Cindy Anthony's testimony and how she's performed during this. That's, of course, Casey's mother, Kaylee's grandmother. What do you make of her assertions that she's the one who did those internet searches for chloroform, and then testimony that she was at work at that point, maybe working from a computer that would put her in a different place at a different time? What do you make of her testimony and how the jury will interpret it?
I think it's an example, Shannon, of unconditional love that has been misguided. I think we have a situation here where a parent many times, even under these circumstances, will do anything to save her daughter. She really sort of fell on the sword, as did the father. And I will tell you, honestly, when I watch this, they keep saying it's a dysfunctional family. I mean, they both have fallen on the sword. Mr. Anthony, you talk about a guy that's taken a hit. I mean, he's been slapped across the face every way you can. And then insofar as mom, I mean, as a father and a grandfather, there's something that bothers me. There's something that bothers me in reference to, I remember in the preliminary hearing, Shannon, she made a statement, I can't even remember exactly what, but she looked directly at Casey when she was testifying at the prelim, almost saying to her, keep your mouth shut. She was responding to a question, but she was looking to her daughter. She looks like she is the matriarch. She is someone that obviously is very concerned about losing a daughter and has lost a granddaughter. And I said last week, and I don't know how people view this, God forbid, if a mother has a suspicion that a father molested her daughter, would you be sitting next to that man in a courtroom, regardless of the circumstances? I don't get that. And jurors see that. Now, is that evidence? No. But remember, perception and persuasion and body language is an important part of these cases. The lawyers have lived with this jury. They know the ones that are with them and against them. It plays a bigger part than viewers can understand sometimes.
Well, we could soon know what this jury thinks, what their perception was all along, because today they could get the case and deliberations could begin. In the more short term, in about 30 minutes or less, we expect them to be back in for the defense to continue its close. We're going to have you stick around, and Phil Keating as well, and we'll check back in with you and Judge Alex Ferrer as well.